going on, y'all? Welcome to Support the Come Up. I'm here with my brother, one of my best friends out here, man. He's been doing great things since he touched the scene. My brother Dennis Williams II. What's going on, bro?
That's good, bro. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate you coming through, bro. Appreciate you coming through, man. As y'all know, Support the Come Up. We always highlighting entrepreneurs out there doing great things in society for themselves and for others. So of course I had to bring my bro Dennis up here to show the great work he's been doing since day one. Appreciate you coming out, bro.
Yeah, I'm excited, bro.
Yeah, man. So So before we get into everything, because I know there's so much we could jump into. For sure. You've been doing it for a while now. We met each other, I say 2012. 2012. Yeah. We'll get into that story in a minute, but yeah, we all started in Maryland, right? That's where you're born and raised.
Yep.
So from Maryland, after Maryland, you went to got into college. After the college experience, you was playing ball there for a little bit.
Yep.
So yeah, you played for Dayton University. How was that?
Amazing, bro. It was a crazy experience. I'm from Maryland, so to live in Ohio for the 3 years that I was there, ended up graduating from UMBC in Maryland. But I played basketball at the University of Dayton.
And you was a walk-on. You didn't even get a scholarship there.
Yeah,
you was straight up walk-on.
My first year I was a walk-on. I got a scholarship the second year. It was crazy, man. I really had to work my way up. A lot of tough battles in practice.
I can't imagine. This is a tough era. Especially in the NCAA around that time, it was crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And to be in that court with, how was that atmosphere?
That's the craziest arena, arguably, in college.
They get crazy.
14,000 students.
Yeah.
It really takes over your schedule. You got 5 a.m. workouts. You go to class. You go back to the arena for another 4 hours.
And while you're doing studies, while you're taking classes at this time.
While you're studying, our tutors traveled with us. It was pretty serious. It was a full-time job. You know what I'm saying? So it definitely showed me what hard work is and what it means to really dedicate everything in your life at the time to your passion.
To put the time in, that says a lot. You put the time in on the court. Then after school, you put your time into the writing and directing. All these great posters up here, man. Let's start from the jump. You placed, I know it was one of your beauties, one of your hard projects. So, and we even got an interview we was looking at from when Low Key Visions was 2014, 2015, 5 years ago. It's crazy. But how did you get into films? How did you get into writing? How did that even come about?
So when I transferred from Dayton to UMBC, I fell into a theater class, really.
Okay.
So it was an elective that I ended up just taking. I was taking journalism at Dayton. So I kind of been exploring the writing side of myself for a couple years of school, you know what I'm saying? But I knew journalism wasn't for me. And I'm when I got into that elective, that kind of storytelling, really, captured my attention. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Now the hard part of it was reading all of these plays and figuring out how to write in that structure. But I ended up taking theater as a minor for the next 3 years, and that's kind of how I fell into film. I wanted to do it more creatively, so I started doing everything I can to get on freelance projects, getting my hands on DSLRs and cameras.
That's great.
And then Uclace was the first thing that I shot myself. And from that, started working with friends like Jared, my friend Ryan Day, to make more films. You know what I'm saying? Starting out, you make films with your friends, and the dream is to continue to do that at every level with your friends. And it's been going from there.
That's crazy. To start from shooting films in Maryland and to bringing it to NYC. Since you touched down in NYC, we met in 2012 back in the crib, and we was in a 1-bedroom just trying to stick it out. You was writing for a comedy show at the time, weren't you?
Funny or Die.
Yeah, Funny or Die. You was writing up. You were doing a summer job with them, just writing scripts for them. That's where you was all right, I got a passion for this. This is where things is going. I remember that, man. Late nights, early mornings, man. The hot ass crib with no AC, bro. That shit was crazy.
Facts.
So after you left, after that was summertime. We was doing that. You doing an internship, and I was working at the time. Then you went back to Maryland, graduated, came back out here, and then you've been taking over since in terms of production. You set out, man. You pretty much made it a goal to get your films out here noticed.
Yeah, bro. I feel like you and I both know, man. You just gotta jump out there and make some version of it.
Exactly.
Try to make it a reality for people to see it. So that's what we did at first, and we got bigger and bigger budgets and bigger productions behind us. But that's definitely where it started, with just 7 people in the room than 7 people. You know.
Yeah, the first one, Note to Self. I mean, after you Clace, we did Note to Self, which did great, which was amazing. And that was, what was it? Like, it was a small set, very small budget.
Yeah.
No bigger than this, your crib right now. You know, thanks for having us here. So when it came to all the films you've done, since, like I said, Note to Self, we was in a real small room, probably like 5 or 7 people on site at one time. Then we get to Payroll. Shit, how many people we had on that set? Like at least 20, 30, you know, at one time. And then every time we shoot, it keeps growing. And since the development of all these sets that we've been on with the production team, what would you say you learned the most since shooting films?
Teamwork, I would say, really. Teamwork, allowing everybody to focus on what their responsibilities are, you know what I'm saying? And making sure that everyone is aware of what the next person is doing.
Okay.
And there's always room to get better at that, but, as you grow to bigger and bigger sets, I've seen that that's one of the more important things of a director.
Gotcha.
And then, really understanding the goals of each scene and, how to be successful and treat each scene like a quarter or like its own movie in itself.
Got you.
So I would say that's the biggest things I've learned.
Yeah, I mean, and just doing films with you, I would say a major thing that being a filmmaker should always keep an eye on is locations. Like, you never know. Like, locations, you never know what can happen at a location. You know, you lock it in and then things can go downhill when it's time to shoot, but having locations.
The cops pull up to the last location.
We were shooting outside, and we was at like 4 a.m. We was shooting.
Yeah, bro.
Cops pulled up.
Still let us rock.
Still let us rock. Shout out to them cops letting us rock, you know. But it comes down to a lot of things when you're shooting film. And like, in terms of any other young filmmakers out there, what would you tell them in terms of if they're trying to start out and really trying to get into film? What would you tell them?
I would say make movies with your friends. Really. Make movies with your friends. Take the time to really grow your craft. Understand your style and your voice cinematically, right? As a director, as a filmmaker, right? And that's the time to make those mistakes, to make those successes even. Figure out what works for you, what you like, how you like to tell stories. You know?
Got you.
So make movies with your friends. Create a body of work that you're proud about, and then continue to send those emails, I would say, too. And don't be afraid to reach out to people outside of your network to make that stuff happen.
Yeah, you got
to. That's a large part of filmmaking.
Got to take them steps and just contact people and just reach out. Let your voice be heard.
Yeah.
So in terms of next steps with film, I know the last project we did was Clout. I know a lot of people still hearing about that. So what's your next goals in terms of the film direction? I mean, we just got Burke Management just signed on. That's great. What's the next steps? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, we got some new representation for Campsite, as you know. Clout, the feature film, is the next step. So we're in pre-production for that. We're planning to shoot in Atlanta. So I'm excited about that. It's a really interesting story that I want to tell. So right now we're trying to place actors and really get it together in pre-production. So I'm most excited about that.
That's great news. That's great news. And in terms of since you're on both sides of the table, being a director and a writer, what would you enjoy more when it comes to doing film? Would you like more writing or do you like more directing?
I think they're both, the same, like different sides of the coin as far as storytelling goes. I would say, right? So I think writing is a part of storytelling that, I'm a writer first.
Yeah, I mean, let's not forget LinkedIn top voice two times, bro. 2 times, bro. My man's out here doing things, bro. Come on, 2 times LinkedIn top voice. So I mean, that's a big accomplishment. So I mean, your writing's there. So the writing came with the writing comes with the great directing as well. Yeah,
bro. But like, it's fun. Like, choosing how you tell a particular scene from a directional standpoint.
Got you.
So like that is very much storytelling to me, and I found like a new love for that too. So I think it's both. I really think it's both, and I think different projects call for different things. Like, and right now it's important for me to get my hands on several different projects. So,
I mean you balancing a lot. You got your work, your job. You got the filming, then you have Bando. Bando Fest. That's something that you've been working on for 2 years now, I would say.
3 years.
The first one was after we did Payroll, Bando. We did like an event to highlight, everything we did with Payroll to get tell that story through Bando. Now, since we were supposed to do an event what was in March, but the whole COVID situation came about, and now we decided to take it into a whole nother way of taking advantage of what times we're in right now in terms of making a mentorship program. So tell us a little about that. You started it off in July. July.
We started it off. We started off in June. So BandoFest to us is really about creating horizontal connections, so partnering people with their friends and their peers that can help them, progress. And then those vertical opportunities for real, bro. So if we have the network, why not continue to push it forward? So we did a virtual mentorship lab for June, focused on fashion and footwear for undergrads to create a portfolio project, really.
Gotcha.
So that's all sides of footwear, from brand partnerships to sneaker designs to tech packs, things like that.
So tell us about BandoFest. How did that come about?
Yeah, so the lab that we did in June is focused on fashion and footwear, right? So we were pairing mentors with undergrads and graduates that are focused in a career in fashion and footwear in all sides of the business.
Gotcha.
And the goal of the program for 1 month was to create a portfolio project. So we had students do brand partnership decks, tech packs, and new sneaker redesigns, things like that.
Wow.
So we had mentors from Alexander Wang, Puma. We had a lot of successful freelance footwear design consultants and pioneers. So it was amazing. And in August, we're going to do a lab focused on journalism.
Got you. That's major. Journalism is how everything is given out. That's that's talk of the talk.
So anyone documenting our story is super important. We just want to help the next generation really get a leg up. And to me, in school, you don't really get the opportunity to build your portfolio with hands-on work. So that's the goal of the program.
Got you. So in terms of the first program, what would you say do you learn from those first mentees that you had? What would you say was the biggest, wow, I'm learning a lot from these kids?
Young thinkers are just inspirational. I feel like they think without boundaries, right? They see so many different things, and I learned so much, and the mentors all together learned so much from the mentees as well as the other way around too. So I was super impressed with the work that they did. I'm seeing 40-page decks. I'm seeing real cause and passion driven work.
Okay.
So
that's the Gen Z, right? It's mostly Gen Z. I know we getting older, we millennials, we getting older now, but we still got Gen Z doing their thing out here. So that's crazy. I'm glad to see that it seems like things are moving forward with the younger generation. Next thing I want to talk about is I know you got a big presence on social media when it comes to your film, BandoFest. In terms of in Twitter and everything, in terms of what's going on in society, since the George Floyd thing, how has that impacted what you've been doing? I know we went out, did a voters registration. So how does that impact everything you've been doing?
I feel we do mission passion driven work before we really want to make an impact, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's just inspired us to double down on that and focus solely on work that is really going to push the cause forward.
Got you.
So I think it's just been solely focused on that for us at Campsite and with BandoFest. So either creating opportunities or getting on the ground and really encouraging folks to vote and handing out water and food, to telling our stories through film. All of that's important. So really focusing on, honestly, just the work that's going to be relevant and important 10 years from now is kind of how I'm looking at everything.
That's
Stuff that really captures the voice and the tone and the energy of the time right now. Whether that's directly impacting this now or documenting it for later is really what we're doing. So
I think that's an important goal and a mission that everyone should have, is just documenting what's going on in time, and hopefully we'll see change, especially the way that we have the tool of social media, being able to really utilize that as a tool to voice our opinions and make sure that people understand what's going on in society. And I think that through your films, I think you've done a great job of highlighting, things that are going on in society as well. And I think we'll continue to push the needle forward when it comes to telling our story in different ways. I look forward to it. So in terms of what's to come next, I would say what's your goal for, you have so many things going on, from BandoFest to Campsite to your actual career when you're doing the 9 to 5. So what is your overall goal? What do you see for yourself?
I think we've built the groundwork and the foundation. Now it's time to scale it, right? And to impact bigger audiences, to tell bigger stories. So that's the focus for Campsite and for BandoFest. So at Campsite, we're doing our first feature film, right?
Yeah, it's major.
It's early in pre-production, but I think we can do that right. It's telling a very important story based out of Atlanta. And we have a few more projects that come about that tell the stories of Black entrepreneurship, Black triumph, right?
Exactly.
And then with Bando Fest, like, we're really trying to push the same principles in real life.
Exactly.
So these labs, we want to see them through and make sure they're successful and help kids really start the next stage of their professional career and the next stage of their life, really.
Exactly.
And then, when outside is back open, we want Bando Fest to continue to impact people on the ground, bro. So we just want to keep innovating in that sense and providing knowledge and information, really, across different industries of culture. So I think the groundwork is done. It's still like early, but we just want to scale it up so that we're doing the same work for more people.
That's the goal. I mean, I'm excited to help push this needle forward.
Bro.
And I mean, with a schedule like yours, I know a lot of viewers is like, damn, young dude in New York City, how are you able to manage all this? Like, what is a normal schedule for you, like doing Monday through Friday, like to get all this done and maintain everything?
I just like try to focus on time blocks these days, really.
Okay.
So I'll say like, from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. or 10:30, I'm doing this. And these are the goals that I need to really hit. From 11 to 2 p.m. or like things like that. I really just try to block everything. And then, I've really been living on this one quote where it's like, you got to just know which balls are which balls are glass and which balls are rubber. That's what it is.
That's deep. That's
deep. What I'm saying? So I'm not trying to drop the glass balls, So you asked to eat, there's going to be a lot on your plate. So you got to put more energy to organizing yourself and making sure you know what's priority and what's important.
Gotcha. I mean, you always got to prioritize what's more important than the next. I think that's what it comes down to when you're juggling everything at once.
Yeah, bro.
And in terms of you got everything going on, how can people support you? How can people support the come up of Dennis Williams?
Oh man, so Bando Fest lab applications are open now. So continue to getting the word out for anyone that's focused on a career in journalism. It's super important. Campsite has more work coming right now. The Clout trailer is live.
Check it out.
On YouTube, on Instagram. It's live on the internet, so go check that out. We're making the feature film version of that right now, so any support is appreciated. And then support the come up, bro. You guys been supporting us for
appreciate you,
forever,
man. Appreciate
bro.
you, yeah.
Jerry, we've been working together for forever, for life, bro. So, continue.
And what's your social media? Drop that so people can follow you and everything.
At Menace2Dennis, at Menace2 Dennis on Twitter and on Instagram, and then Campsite Studios. So it's at Campsite Studios on Instagram.
Cool, bro. I appreciate you tuning in with me, bro. I always have to make sure you get on the show and show love to all the work you've been doing, man. Keep pushing the needle forward, and everybody gonna keep supporting, man.
Yeah, bro. I appreciate you.
All right, bro. Appreciate you. All right, man.
Heard it still waiting. Tell all my niggas be patient. I know it feel like it's the matrix. So stick to the code. Will never be basic. Whoa, gotta go chase it. Never had